everybody, welcome to Soulful Tea. Today on Soulful Tea we're going to do something that's just basic. We're going to do your basic yellow cupcakes. With this recipe you'll get about maybe a dozen of cupcakes, but if you want to make like a 9-inch round circle cake, you can always double the recipe and it will work. Over here in my mash, I already have put together 2 cups of flour, and actually it's 2 cups of cake flour. Also have 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to sift this and make it as thin. When you're using cake flour, it's already thin, so I kind of like just sift it this maybe once. But if you decide to use what kind of flour? If you decide to use self-rising flour, you may want to sift it about 3 times through so that you get that thin quality that you're looking for. Okay, this is taking me a little longer than I thought, but yeah, I'm going to do like this. I want to get it right all through there, make it as thin as possible. Normally I do use self-rising flour, Aunt Your Mama self-rising flour, so I was out of that today, so I decided to go ahead and use some good old cake flour. Okay, so I sifted that. Let me put this to the side. In my mixer, we're going to add 1 cup of granulated sugar. So that's 1 cup of sugar. Ooh, dusty, huh? And to that, 1 stick or a 1/2 cup of unsalted soft butter. And one moment, here we go. Set that to the side, and I'm going to lift up my KitchenAid, and I'm going to put it on 2. Let it blend, let the butter and the sugar incorporate real well together. I don't want to overdo it. Let that butter and sugar incorporate together. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit. I'll get it all in there. There. See how the butter and the sugar is getting all together? I'm going to turn it off for a minute. And I'm going to let the lever down so that I could scrape down the sides. See, I still have some sugar left in there, so I want to scrape down the sides. I mean, if you don't have a KitchenAid blender, a mixer, you can always use, your standard hand mixer. I mean, that will work just as good. I just can't do that. Arthritis. But here we go. So, that actually looks good. So, I'm going to turn it down low. And to this, I'm going to add 2 eggs. Make sure that your eggs and butter and everything is room temperature. You don't ever want to use a cold egg in any type of baking recipe because you're going to shock the batter, and you want it to come out great. So always use room temperature eggs and milk. I'm going to speed it up just a little to let that 1 egg incorporate. Do 1 egg at a time. So I'm going to turn it back down to 1. And do my 2nd egg. And let's speed it back up again. A lot of up and downs, but that's good. Get that egg well incorporated into the mixture. Let me turn it down some, because I want to turn it off. I want my sides to come down. I want everything to get mixed up, into the batter with the eggs. Here we go. There we go. Now to this, I love vanilla. Try to use pure vanilla if you have some. Always use the best vanilla when you're baking. I'm going to turn this down a little bit again. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla into my mixer. Here we go. Turn it up a little bit and let it just go for it. Let it just go for it. Yes. Get that vanilla all in there. Okay, so now this is my wet ingredients. I'm going to add my dry ingredients. I'm going to turn it down some because you don't want the flour poofing all over the place. But I'm only going to do 1/3. Do a little at a time because again, you don't want the flour be flying all over the place. So I'm just going to do a little at a time. And to this recipe, it calls for 1 cup of buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you use whole milk. Anything that's fattening, because milk brings out, you know, it's a cupcake. You want the fat in it. It's not healthy. It's great. Okay, so I'm going to add half of this. And to speed it up, and all the ingredients blend in together. Okay, I'm turning it back down again. A lot of, oops, turned it off. A lot of ups and downs. But this is going to be the final dry ingredient that I'm going to add. Okay. And I'm going to add the remaining of the buttermilk. Set that to the side and just turn it on. So this recipe is really easy. 1 stick of unsalted, 1 stick of unsalted butter, room temperature, 2 medium eggs at room temperature, 1 cup of buttermilk or whole milk, a cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of flour, and 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Okay, this is good. It's all incorporated. I'm going to let it down. I'm going to turn on my oven to bake at 350. Push on so that they get a preheat. Sit that there. Ice cream scoop, 1 scoop per cup. You'll get a perfect cupcake each time. My oven is going to preheat. So even though the oven still says preheat, the bell haven't went off yet, I'm still going to stick them in there. Stick in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. Check on it. Poke it with a fork, toothpick to make sure the inside is done. And there you have it. Basic yellow cupcakes. And we're going to ice them with homemade buttercream icing. May turn it pink. It's the first week of spring. Let's get those pastel
While my
colors
cupcake
in.
is cooking, I'm going to make a simple and very easy buttercream frosting for the cupcakes. I have in this bowl a 1/2 cup or either 1 stick of unsalted soft room temperature butter. To that, I don't want it too sweet, so I'm going to add 1 cup of powdered sugar, another cup. So this is going to be about a 2 cup powdered sugar. It depends on how sweet you like your frosting. I don't tend to make the frosting too sweet. Make the kids hype. So I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to put it on 1. Mix it on 1. Now in order to incorporate it, I'm going to use some heavy cream. I'm just going to do a dab. It depends on the texture that you want your buttercream icing. If you want it real thin, I like mine kind of thick. I don't want it runny. So I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Again, the best vanilla, pure vanilla. 1 teaspoon of vanilla I'm going to add to this. And I'm just going to add, I eyeball everything, about a teaspoon of heavy whip. So I can make it a little, you know. See, come closer. See how it's starting to form? I'm going to add another drop. That's about 3 teaspoons of heavy whip. I'm going to turn it up a little bit so I get my ice to really go on. I'm going to turn it down. And I'm going to take it down and I'm going to pull the icing. I'm just gonna pull it down because we didn't get the bottom there. Okay. This is not enough to do 12 cupcakes, but I'm not making a lot today. But it will frosting our cupcakes, and I'm just gonna taste it. A little bit too sweet. I'm gonna add at least one more. It's not that sweet, I'm sorry. One more thing of powdered sugar. That's 3. So far we have 3 cups of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, about 4 teaspoons of heavy cream, and 1 stick of unsalted salt room temperature butter. Another teaspoon of cream is going to do it for me. Now, I want this to be pink, because I can. It's spring. Here we go. I'm going to turn it off. I want this to be pink. So, I have some pink gel paste here. And use the back of this plastic fork. I'm just going to take a little dab, because it don't take much. That's it. That's it. Might be too much. Might come out red. Lift it. There we go. How easy was that? Let me just scoop the sides down. This is going to be a pretty pink. The frosting came out great. It's like how I like it. Let's start it up again. I can get it all in here. There you go. Okay, great. So we have some pink homemade buttercream frosting, and it tastes terrific. So it's finished. It's done. Don't want to over-whip it. I'm gonna take it down, and I'm gonna continue to stir it with my hand because I got the white all over the place, and I really want it to be pink. No signs of white anywhere in here. So I'm gonna sit this right here, and I'm just gonna stir it. I'll get all that up in there. See? Pink frosting. You might still see some white. I'm trying to work that out. But you could work that out until you get it all done, and you end up with some pink frosting. And there you go. So when the cupcakes get done, they're going to cool off. I may put them in the refrigerator for a good 5 minutes, cool down, decorate it with the frosting, and there you go. Okay, so the cupcakes are out the oven. This is what they look like. They're nice, they're soft, they're warm. And again, I did make 12. I'm only going to frost in 6. I put them in my cupcake container. So what I did is that I bagged up the pink icing, put my tip on it, and used up pastry bag, plastic disposable pastry bag. And then we're just going to start from the middle and swirl up. Icing that you like on it. I'm going to put a little bit of decorated, I guess, decorations on. I don't know the name of this stuff, but here we go. Just sprinkle a little bit for the kids to make them pretty. Again, it's the first week of spring here in DC. We have some good weather. It's about 7 degrees outside. My son is on his way home from school. He will love these. So, here we go. Okay, if anybody want to hit Soulful Tea up, you can follow me on Instagram, PAS Cupcakes, on Twitter at PSA Cupcakes, and also you can hit me up on Facebook, Plain and Simple Cupcakes facebook.com. I believe that's it. And if you have any ideas, anything you want me to cook, send me an email at Tanya Waller, that's Tanyawaller 45 @gmail.com.